Okay, so find the range of values of x for which dy dx is greater than or equals to 0. So the first thing is you will find dy by dx, and that is 12x square plus 6x minus 6, and then 12x square plus 6x minus 6 has to be greater than or equals to 0. First thing, Samaj, you need to learn how to factorize it. So instead of 12x square, I can write it as 2x square plus x minus 1 as well, which is the same thing, okay? Dividing the whole equation by 6. Make it easy for ourselves. Now factorize it, so this will become 2x square plus 2x minus x minus 1. Oh, serious? This is easy. Okay, so your answers are x plus 1, 2x minus 1 greater than equals to 0. Now, what is very important is that inequalities, when we did quadratics as well, look, one value is minus 1, one value is 1 upon 2. Greater than 0 or equal to 0 means above, if we go less than minus 1, and if we go greater than half, it will be greater than equals to 0. So your answer will be x should be less than equals to minus 1, greater than equals to minus 1 upon 2. Clear, Sama? All right. So that is, and this is good because it has come up in past papers as well before. Okay, if you have to find dy dx less than or greater than 0, but we can move forward now. Okay, we call it the chain rule to differentiate, but you don't have to remember it by this name. Uh, what you just have to remember is, I'll just write chain rule over here because it's called the chain rule. But listen, now if you have x plus, let's say 2 to the power of 4, and you have y is equals to, and you have to find dy by dx. Now, one of the methods is that we expand it through binomial expansion and then differentiate each term individually. Okay. However, another simpler method, and that is something I want you people to learn, and that is, this is the power 4, you multiply it over here. This bracket remains the same. This will remain as uh, x plus 2. The power decreases by 1. And then you also multiply it with the derivative uh, of this thing, okay, which will be 1. So your final answer becomes 4 into x plus 2 to the power of 3. Another example. So let's say the question, I change the question around, it is x square plus 4 to the power of minus 3. Okay, so if you have to find dy by dx, what you will do is you will multiply the power over here. So this will become minus 3. You will decrease the power by 1 as we did, will become minus 4. But you will also multiply it with the derivative of this x square plus 4, whatever is in the bracket. So the derivative of this will become 2x, right? So your final answer will be minus 6x into x square plus 4 to the power of minus 4. One final example. So if the question was y is equals to, let's say, 3 into x square plus 4x to the power of, I don't know, let's take it as 4. So when you find the dy by dx, this 4 times 3 becomes 12. This remains as it is. The power decreases by 1. And then you multiply it with the derivative of this bracket. Mohammed, what is the derivative of this bracket? Plus 4. So this 2x plus 4 will multiply by 12, or you can leave it like this as well if you want. Doesn't make any difference. But this would be your differentiation if you have powers which are very small or very large. Obviously, if you want, you can expand it, but there's no point that you expand it and then differentiate. This is a very simple method to differentiate. Everything else remains the same. It gives you the gradient of the tangent and everything. If it is in the denominator, you will bring it in the numerator. That is the only thing you will have to be careful with. Okay, if it is 8 upon 3 minus 2x, you will write it as, I'll just do this question over here. So this will become minus 8, 3 minus 2x to the power of minus 2, and then multiplied with the derivative of 3 minus 2x, which is minus 2. Okay? And that's it. Any questions on how to differentiate? Doesn't matter what the power is, it would be half, 3 upon 2, 5 upon 2, fraction. The method is always the same. So everyone give me a thumbs up who's online if you have understood so far.
डेरिवेटिव वाला समझा देंगे फिर से
Which one?
ये मल्टीप्लाई करना है डेरिवेटिव से वाला
Negative this one.
यस
देखो what is the derivative of 3 minus 2x beta? That's minus 2, right? But that's what I did. I just multiplied this over here, okay?
Okay, sir. Understood.
That's it. Okay, so you people start with question. We have to complete this worksheet today because, yes, in the last 15 minutes, I will discuss the next worksheet, which will be your homework, okay? So it's already 5:30. You have 15 minutes to do as many questions from this worksheet, the remaining for homework, and then I will discuss the next worksheet as well. Start. Everyone. And this will become minus 1, and then you do the same thing. This will become minus 8, 3 minus 2x to the power of minus 2, and you multiply it with this derivative, which is minus 2. So this will become 16 into 3 minus 2x power 2 minus 2. Okay? A bit, but still do them. It will be good for the practice. Okay? Okay. Now, once we have learned how to differentiate, okay? So this is all there is in differentiation in AS level. This type of differentiation and the basic differentiation that you learned. After that, the only thing you'll have to understand is how to attempt the questions. Now, in the first class, what I explained was that dy dx gives you the gradient of the tangent. Dy dx that you find basically gives you the gradient of the tangent at any point on the curve. All right. So when it is asking you to find the equation of the tangent, what is the tangent first of all? It is a line, right? To make the equation of a line, what do you need? You need a point and you need the gradient, right? And then you can use this formula. If you haven't used this before, I will just write it down. This is how you write the equation of a straight line. So this is x1, y1, and this is the gradient. How will you get the gradient? Through dy dx, right? And once you have the gradient, you can just put it over here in place of x1, y1. You need a point which is given over here. And that's the first part. All right, that's part A. Do these questions right now as well, okay? What is the normal? What do you mean by normal? It's a perpendicular line. So I'll just draw it over here. Now let's say if I have a curve over here like this, and I make a tangent. So let's say this is the point 3 and 2, okay? This is the curve, this is the point 3 and 2. Normal basically means a line which is perpendicular to your tangent. So normal means perpendicular to tangent. If two lines are perpendicular, we have learned this in our GCSE's O levels that if two lines are perpendicular, if the gradient of one line is 2, the perpendicular line will have a gradient of negative reciprocal. Exactly, that is the word. If one line has a gradient of 5 upon 7, the perpendicular line will have a gradient of minus 7 upon 5. And that is it. Once you have the gradient of the normal, how will you have the gradient of the normal? You will find dy dx, put in the x value, and then just take the negative reciprocal. This is something you have done before, okay? And that's it. That's it. We are done with differentiation. Obviously, there is one more thing remaining, which is stationary points, but I won't discuss that today. This worksheet over here, this one, differentiation 2, differentiation 3. Yes. Differentiation 4 we will be discussing in the next class. ठीक है. Do some questions from differentiation 3 right now. I'll just give you a couple of questions. Try this in front of me right now. In case you get stuck, I'll help you out. So from question 1, do part C and D. From question 2, do part B, D. That's it. First do these 4 parts, but that's it. The remaining will be your homework. So in part C, the first thing you will do is find dy by dx. So that's the first step, okay? How will you find dy dx? Write this equation as x cube upon x minus 5 upon x first. This will become x square minus 5x power minus 1. So first simplify your equation if you can. Now when I differentiate x square, that will become 2x. This will become plus 5x to the power of minus 2, right? Okay, so now once you have this, the x value is minus 1. Minus 2 plus 5 is what? 3. Now this 3 is the gradient of tangent. Once you have the gradient of tangent, how do you make the equation? You need a point on the line which is given over here, minus 186. So I have the point and I have the gradient. The formula for the equation of a line is, and this is something you have done before. So you will write y minus 6 is equals to 3 into x minus minus 1. And then you simplify 3x plus 3 plus 6. And the final equation becomes. Someone, you understand now the steps? And Uruj and Umar, you as well? Okay. The only difference with the normal will be what? Instead of 3, your gradient of the normal will be, the gradient of normal will be negative 1 upon 3. That's it. If in question 2, it is asking for the equation of the normal, you will just take the negative reciprocal of your answer. Right? Umar and Uruj and Sama, give me a thumbs up if it is understood how to find the equation of both tangent and normal. Okay, carry on now. Okay, so in 1D, let me just erase it over here. I'll do it over here, okay? The first thing is you find the dy by dx, okay? Now dy dx will be, this is x minus 5 power half. So you multiply half by 2, that becomes 1. Decrease the power by 1, so that becomes minus half. And the derivative of x minus 5 is 1, so that is it. This is dy by dx. You put x equals to 9. Now this is minus half, you bring it in the denominator and write it as square root of x minus 5. In place of x, you write 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. So square root of 4 becomes 2. Right? So the gradient is 1 upon 2. And now the gradient is 1 upon 2. You have the point 9 and 4. You just put it in the formula y minus 4 is equals to 1 upon 2 into x minus 9. Clear? Sama? Okay. For 2D, I'll just erase this working over here. Look, that is why I told you better it was important to do this worksheet. Okay. So you bring the minus, did you look at minus it? The minus thing. Okay. So this is 20 and x square plus 1 power minus 1, right? So minus 1 multiplies, becomes minus 2. And in the derivative of x square plus 1 is 2x. Now in place of x, what do I have to put? 3. Okay. So this is minus 2, bring it in the denominator. Okay. So this will become minus 20 upon x square will become 3 square plus 1 is 10, right? 10 square multiplied by 2 times 3. So this is minus 20 upon 100 into 6. 3, 5, minus 6 upon 5 is the gradient. Okay. Now, once you have the gradient and you have this point, find the equation. Obviously, there are silly mistakes. Why did I make 20 negative beta? Because when you multiply -1 by 20, it becomes -20, right? You multiply the power by the coefficient over here. Yeah, you got it now? Yes, and this is why we have, that is why I always ask everyone not to miss out on any question, because you will know what to do. You will have no problem with your understanding, but yet you will make these small mistakes because the working will get lengthier as you move forward. And this is where we'll make mistakes, plus, minus. Many students forget even to do this differentiation sometimes. And then they get the answer wrong. So you have to be careful with every small step. And that is something very important for your exam. Difference between A and B and C and lots of other grades. All right, that's enough for today. Thank you, everyone.